Life is Strange Before the Storm is a prequel to Dontnod's Life is Strange, which debuted back in 2015. This time around the game is not developed by Dontnod. Instead, this prequel was passed off to another studio named Deck 9 Games. I feel this was a mistake. I'm sure they tried their best with the materials given to them, but I feel they just did not quite understand the characters, tone, and music that we got in the first game. Firstly, I feel the Chloe we get in this game is far too whiny and self-centered to fit in with the Chloe we get in the original game. For the entire first episode and the first half of the second, Chloe comes off as a whiny teenager that hates everyone and everything just for being. Now I get that when you are a teenager your troubles can feel like the most important things in the world, and it can often feel like the rest of the world, especially the grown-ups, have no idea what you are going through, but this game takes this a bit too far in the early stages, I feel. Later on in the game, from the second half onwards, it does get a little more tense, and the problems or the dilemmas the girls find themselves in are a little more impactful. This saves the game, I felt, and made it worth the time to play it in the end. I'm lucky I played this game via Game Pass, as I was able to play all 3 episodes in quick succession. I do feel that if I was playing these as they released, I would not have gone back after the first episode. If you are a fan of the first game, I would recommend sticking with this game as it does get better, but for someone that is new to the series, I would say give this one a miss and play the original game. If you really enjoy the original Life is Strange, then think about coming back to this one afterwards. This game will spoil some of the plot in the original game in regard to the mystery of Rachel Amber, but not too much. Not enough to change my thoughts or feelings for the first game, to be honest. This therefore makes me wonder why it was made. Clearly Dontnod did not want to do it. They wanted to move on and make Life is Strange 2 about different characters, I suppose. So why did Square Enix hire another studio to make this, I have to ask myself. The tone just does not match that of the original. There is something mysterious in the original game. I mean, the main character even has a special ability that can reverse time and whatnot. This game has none of that. It's just a straight up teenage drama with nothing special thrown into the mix. The original game also fitted in some great music exactly when it needed it and felt right. This game seems to shoehorn the odd riff in here and there and then give you a prompt to exit out of listening it. It does not feel as if it flows or is meant to set the tone. It just feels like they knew the music played a big part in the first game but didn't really know how to make it fit here, so they will just dedicate sections to playing a bit of music and that should do it. I felt the character models were a bit too robotic and stiff in this game too. They were not the best in the original game by today's standards, but it seemed to stand out much more in this one. The character models just seem like lifeless mannequins that have been rigged up to move their lips and arms around every now and then during conversations. Not really in time with the dialogue or anything, just randomly enough that it will do. That's what I felt a lot when playing this game, that it was made to carry us over until Life is Strange 2 was finished, and was just thrown together by a second studio that settled on just enough that will do. It does not feel like a labour of love as the original did, it just feels like a cash grab with no soul. As this is a Game Pass title review, I like to ask 2 questions. 1. Is the game worth downloading and playing via your Game Pass subscription? And 2. Is it worth starting a Game Pass subscription to play this game? To answer question 1, I would say it is only worth downloading and playing via your subscription if you are a fan of the series or genre, or if you want to gather some easy achievements that do not require you to work too hard to get them. You may still need a guide to grab them all, as most achievements are earned by adding graffiti to certain spots in the game that are not always easy to locate. To answer the second question, the answer is simply no. It is not worth a month's subscription to play this game, mainly because the game often sells for much less than a month's subscription during a sale, and also because you do not gain the extra DLC chapter via Game Pass, so if you are going to spend money on this game, I recommend buying it outright with the DLC. It will still be less than a monthly subscription for Game Pass. The game scores 82 on Metacritic with a user score of 7.2. The game has 34 achievements to collect for your 1000G, and the estimated time to beat the game is around 11 to 12 hours. I'm unsure how this is scoring so high on Metacritic. It is the same across the board on PC and PS4 too. I guess it came out at a time when a lot of people wanted a slow-paced game to sink into, and it did the trick for them at that time. Perhaps in the cold winter months when you just want to curl up in a blanket with a hot drink and play something easy. In the middle of the summer though, like now, it feels lame and pointless for the most part. As such, Games Done Wrongish scores Life is Strange Before the Storm 6 out of 10. Not nearly as good as the original game, but worth a playthrough if you are a fan. What do you think of the game? Let me know in the comments below, and I will see you next time. If you like this video, please consider watching another. 2 suggestions will be on screen now. Also, if you have not subscribed already, please do so by clicking the icon in the middle of this screen. Every view and subscription will go a long way to helping the channel grow, and in turn will result in more content for you. Thank you, and until the next time, goodbye.